What is up, guys? Let's talk about the nighttime dose of the Quit Kit. This is one of the most important doses because when you're in withdrawals, you really need good sleep. It's when you're asleep that your body, or excuse me, your brain is able to dedicate the resources it needs to repairing the damage that you've done through chronic drug abuse. So getting asleep and staying asleep is the job. That's the name of the game for the nighttime dose. So how does it do this? Firstly, you have GABA. GABA is your body's primary neurotransmitter inhibitor. Neurotransmitter inhibitor means when GABA is released in your brain, in your nervous system, it tamps down overactivity of other neurotransmitters that could probably be driving you crazy. The best example I can give you is if you've been in withdrawals and you've tried to go to sleep and you have a racing mind and you're thinking useless thoughts, you have an overactive neurotransmission in your head. Typically, GABA would be released to calm that down because your body knows it needs to go to sleep. But when you're in withdrawals, you may have an imbalance in your GABA supply. This helps to restore that balance. Next, magnesium. Magnesium glycinate, particularly because magnesium glycinate has a higher bioavailability. The thing about magnesium, other than being useful for muscle relaxation and restless leg syndrome, is it helps GABA bind to GABA receptors in your nervous system. So you don't just have your primary neurotransmitter inhibitor in this dose, you also have what's essentially the ferry boat captain that brings it to the places it needs to be to work. So when you take this, you'll feel this sense of relaxation because magnesium and GABA are working together to relax you. The next thing, L-tryptophan. If you're from the United States and you've eaten Thanksgiving turkey and then gotten really tired a few hours later, that's pretty normal. So L-tryptophan turns into melatonin at night. But in between, and this is fascinating, L-tryptophan becomes serotonin. So you eat L-tryptophan primarily, you get it through your white meats, and then it turns into serotonin. Your body catalyzes it into serotonin. That's your happiness molecule, right? That's your good mood molecule. It's your stable mood molecule, rather. And if you're in withdrawals, studies have shown you're almost certainly at a low level of serotonin. How do you get serotonin? Through your diet. So if you have L-tryptophan coming in, you can produce serotonin. And serotonin, crucially, is what gets converted into melatonin at night. So if you don't have enough serotonin, not only is your mood messed up, but then you don't have enough melatonin to put you to sleep. That's one of the reasons why it's so hard to sleep when you're in withdrawals, because you have notoriously low serotonin levels. If you have low serotonin, you have low melatonin. If you have low melatonin, you can't go to sleep because melatonin is the sleep-wake hormone. That's why L-tryptophan is in here. So you have GABA working with magnesium to relax you. You have L-tryptophan, which turns into serotonin, which makes you feel good. And then when the lights go off, it helps put you to sleep by turning into melatonin. It also has melatonin in here so that you don't have to wait for that catalytic process to occur. You have melatonin, the sleep-wake hormone, as a dose in here to help kickstart your sense of being tired. And finally, vitamin C. Vitamin C is good for everything when you're in withdrawals. It helps prevent oxidative stress on your body, in your cells, and your organs. And that means lower fatigue. Lower fatigue when you wake up, lower fatigue throughout the day, but also principally when your brain is in repair mode at night and you're in withdrawals and you're sleeping and your brain is mechanicking throughout your whole body. It doesn't get fatigued by, I don't want to get too scientific, but the radical oxidative species that are produced usually when you're in withdrawals that attack your organs, particularly your cell linings, and start to destroy your cells. This causes an intense amount of fatigue and tiredness because, essentially your body is trying to fight a war and win it. Vitamin C comes in and sacrifices itself to those radical oxidative species, says, take me, I volunteer as tribute, so your brain can focus on other things rather than keeping your cells alive. That was a lot of information, but this is a fascinating blend of ingredients. All of this stuff comes from clinical studies. All of the things I said, you can read online, you can study it yourself and see the results. But I'm really proud of this arrangement because it relaxes you, it induces sleep, and then it keeps you asleep, which you need desperately when you're in withdrawals. Okay, quiz on Friday. So I hope you guys are doing well. I love you guys, and take care of yourselves.